Batman tends to feel like the antithesis of Superman, a dour pragmatist always planning for the worst. But while he's always had a bit of a dark side, the brooding, gnarly Batman we know today has really only been the last half of his existence. Before the 80s, the popular depiction of Batman was in the overwhelmingly 60s campy Batman TV show with Adam West, power-whispering chum, while fighting goofy four-color crimes committed by celebrities between guest starring on Twilight Zone and The Love Boat. This moved Batman from Superman's powerless pal to his earthly counterpoint. The change in tone during the 80s primed Batman for the anti-hero Mad 90s. This change also affected the major motion picture portrayals. In 1989, Tim Burton's Batman was credited with reviving the superhero movie. Burton did away with the spandex look of comic books and added practical considerations like bulletproof armor and a wrist brace for when people run at you really fast for some reason. After the franchise that revived the superhero movie with Batman subsequently killed it with Batman and Robin, Christopher Nolan took a swing at Batman. Nolan replaced Burton's gothic style by grounding Batman in the modern world, complete with a new tactical Batmobile and a tactical look to his bat armor. Also new for the Nolan Batsuit, looking left and right. Makes it easy for backing out of the driveway. If there were more crossover between Marvel and the distinguished competition, Bruce Wayne could have called up Peter Parker and discussed the pros and cons of a suit that come from a questionable source that mysteriously enhances your power. But alas, they are from different franchises in different realities that only collide in the occasional crossover stunt.
What happened to your voice?
What do you mean, what happened to my voice?
So this was a hard lesson that Batman had to learn on his own. Though there were red flags that the usually on top of it Bruce Wayne should have really seen coming. First red flag, of course, is the name of the suit of armor, the Suit of Sorrows. That just screams bad news. But maybe you're hoping that the sorrows will be of the people you fight. I don't know. Nope, it's of the people who donated to making the suit. The armor is made up of the metal of the armor and weapons of fallen soldiers. Given to the purest knight possible during the Crusades, the armor eventually drives him mad. Centuries later, Talia al Ghul gives Batman the suit as a gift. What could possibly go wrong with a gift from an Al Ghul that's called the Suit of Sorrows? Well, just like Spider-Man and his suit that mysteriously enhanced his abilities, the suit also started making Batman more aggressive. Uh-oh. Seeing as Batman is just this side of Wolverine when it comes to aggression, he decided that he's cool without the corrupting influence. During his brief time out from that Batman life, the suit was stolen. During the finale of the Justice League animated series, Superman had to explain to Darkseid why Batman kept stepping up to the plate, despite Darkseid having the edge over and over again. Essentially, there was no quit in Batman. If there's an injustice that he can solve by punching it, he'll be there to keep punching until it's solved. If only reforms at Arkham can be achieved via punching. But whether you're Batman or Hawkeye, you eventually have to come to terms that you're the powerless member of the team full of super powerful beings that are going to end up confronting some galactic-style threats. You don't want to end up left out of the big fight, only to find your entire family turned to dust thanks to some evil galactic jerk's big plan. In that case, your friends might pitch in to get you suited up to take on these space-sized threats with the Hellbat armor. How does this armor achieve such a feat? With modern science fiction's favorite go-to, quantum physics. Wait, no, the other one. Yeah, nanotechnology. That means the usual nano effects like appearing out of nowhere and reshaping itself into things like functional wings and the like. Oh, and it drained Bruce Wayne's metabolism, and if he wears it too long, it can kill him. I mean, otherwise, why wouldn't he just wear it all the time, right? Comic books are riddled with alternate timelines. Whether you call them Elseworlds or what-ifs or just mini-series events, they all tend to address traditional heroes in a specific circumstance, like what if Kal-El was found by someone else? Actually, a lot of variants on that. Kingdom Come offered a look at what the DC universe would look like after its main set of heroes retired. Batman tries at first to outsource his Bat-tivities, that's Batman activities, his Bat-tivities, that works, I'm sure of it. Naturally, Bruce isn't the hands-off type, and despite using alternate Batfolk and even an Iron Legion-style troop of Bat drones, Batman suits up in an armor that bypasses all those years of injuries he's incurred as Batman, including a brace for his back. The suit also includes jets for flight and, just for fun, a pair of lasers. Lasers make everything cool. In the late 70s and early 80s, spurred on by an extended drought on the West Coast, many Californians offered their swimming pools to go empty in order to save water. Kids would sneak into these untended pools and ride their skateboards along their curved bottoms like they were carving waves, giving birth to the modern skater. Eventually, Bruce would form Thrasher magazine to chronicle. No wait, that's the origin of the Thrasher magazine. I'm supposed to be talking about the Thrasher Batman armor. Sorry, got my notes mixed up. The Thrasher suit is ultimately your run-of-the-mill power suit, except with the idea, what if you had to be stuck in it? To that end, it's capable of sustaining Batman in harsh conditions for up to a year, which is what allowed him to survive an attack by the Council of Owls after he turned the air conditioning on really high in the Batcave. Yeah, you heard me. There are a lot of variations on the theme when it comes to Batman and power suits, but ultimately Batman is the sneak around, hide in shadows, and throw up batarangs at people kind of hero, leaving the armored suit stuff to the other famous billionaire vigilante. While many of the other armored suits are meant to keep up with Superman, one of the earliest and best known instances of Batman upgrading his armor comes from Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, which had a big influence on the look and story in Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. In both those stories, Batman decided that Superman is actually the biggest threat to the world, and goes all Batman on figuring out how to defeat the poster child for overpowered superheroes. Anyone could employ one or two kryptonite devices. But Bruce uses a variety, as well as a suit designed to absorb the massive Superman-level punches, providing Superman holds back a little, thus disproving Batman's premise that Superman can't be trusted with his power. In the Miller's graphic novel, the suit is only good enough to occupy Superman, though Bruce does get a boot on Soup's chest. In Batman vs. Superman, it actually works, until they famously find out that their moms have the same name. Why did you say that name? I'm sorry, I can't do it. While the campy 1966 Batman had a lasting effect on the look and feel of Batman even after it went dark, it has nothing on the effect that the animated series had on Batman. For many, the series is the definitive Batman, from the stellar voice casting, including Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, just absolutely nailing Batman and Joker respectively, to the modern gothic look of the series, inspired by Tim Burton's take on the hero. It even redefined Mr. Freeze into a tragic villain, and created Harley Quinn out of whole cloth. The series spawned a spin-off that explored a retired Bruce Wayne that hung up the cowl and lived in his ivy-covered mansion with his gnarly Great Dane, until a kid named Terry McGinnis came along and borrowed the cowl without asking to avenge his own untimely death in the family. The result was Batman Beyond, where Bruce took on the role of mentor and the man in the chair for McGinnis' power-armored Batman, complete with flight, a bunch of sensors, and weapons built in. And we're still waiting for McGinnis to get his feature film. We are patiently waiting. If there's one thing that super rich vigilante superheroes Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark share in common, other than the vast wealth of course, is that they're both terrible at retiring. Despite that, they occasionally try. After one such forced retirement when Darkseid sent Batman through time, when he came back he decided to not immediately slip back into the pointy-eared cowl. Instead, he took a page out of Green Hornet's playbook and created a quasi-villainous persona to see what Gotham had been up to in his absence. To that end, he created the Insider Suit. A suit that might also reveal a little about Bruce's insecurities when it comes to his teammates. Just look at the powers the suit provides. It has a way to tap into the Speed Force, the source of the Flash's speed. It also has a willpower weapon reminiscent of Green Lantern's willpower-powered ring. It has a Veritas mode that simulates Wonder Woman's lasso. Jets for flight and heat vision. As if to expand his power grab, he calls it Cyclops mode. It's alright, Batman, we like you for who you are. You don't gotta be like those other heroes in the Justice League. Just be yourself, buddy. Naturally, the man with the plan for every contingency is eventually going to have to face the contingency that his teammates with godlike powers might all one day decide to forego that whole good guy thing and take over. While he has a plan if any of the Justice League by themselves break bad, he also has a plan if they all break bad at once. And it's a plan familiar to those who know Tony Stark's contingency when it comes to his own potential wrecking machine problem. The Justice Buster armor has it all. And by all, I mean all he needs to beat the biggest hitters in the Justice League, specifically. The Bind of Veils is an ancient totem to stop Wonder Woman. It has processors designed to keep up with the Flash, and a slick goop to trip him up. It can even kinda weirdly shoot yellow light into Green Lantern's brain. And it doesn't rely on something as pedestrian as kryptonite for Superman. He has the Atom compress red suns into the knuckles of the suit for Superman punching. Punches with tiny suns in his knuckles. What could possibly beat that? The final suit, that's what. That's the nickname for the suit that Batman makes out of a big old chair when the World Forger tries to create a new reality. Since quantum and nano weren't flexible enough terms, this chair is made out of element X, and aside from turning Batman into a giant mech, it also gives Batman the ability to see the true nature of people. Decades after the Shadow, who knew what evil lurked in the hearts of men, inspired Batman, Batman got to know what evil lurked as well. While he didn't like it, he also believed in Superman's optimism for a better world, which is good, because the suit also had the power to rewrite people at a cellular level. Why? Because I'm Batman.